What is going on, YouTube? PPS back. It's past the prop Monday edition. We got MLB on the docket for today. Joined by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Obviously, a lot of people have a long weekend today. Not everyone. Obviously, you and me both in the world of sports, so we're both obviously on the clock today. But hey, we got baseball. It should be a chill day. We had a nice long weekend. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed their Father's Day. I'm doing good, man. It's nice to have a nice, refreshing weekend coming into the Monday rather than super busy, super crazy, all that stuff.
Yeah, I had a crazy weekend leaving on Thursday, so I do not feel you on that. A lot of travel this weekend. Was up in like the UP area again. We were up there at a resort and casino out there, so you know how that goes. Yeah, it was a long weekend, but we're coming back here. Obviously, we're ready to go, and we're here for a decent slate.
Yeah, no, obviously, anytime we get a little bit of day action, we have, good pitchers on the mound, some aces out there. It's good to be excited. And I know I've said it a couple times, but compared to last year's 2-game slates, we'll take anything. So I'm happy. I'm sorry you didn't get that rest you wanted. Hopefully, you get a nice, sleep in on going into that Tuesday, get a little chill tonight. But I feel you. For some people, Father's Day is not as hectic, but.
Yeah, no, so yeah, it was good. But obviously, couple days rest, then get on a flight to Vegas on Thursday night. So, yeah, man, it's this 2-week stretch is just gonna kill me. But hey, we're back and we're ready to kill this Monday, Wednesday action here. Yeah, let's take a look at how we did last time. Obviously, I want to make sure we pull that up here, and I believe. I'm trying to remember how mine did. I know Castillo blew it. I know he blew it, and I think I lost both because I think the Angels scored. I think they scored 3 runs in the 6th. I think it was the one after ended up being like 4-1. And I'm like, oh my god, 2 homers after it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's just a while ago.
Dude, it's way off. It's Wednesday, so. I don't even know, dude. I couldn't even tell you how yours did, honestly. I remember seeing the plays, but yeah, this is 5 days in between. So many plays in between that, but I know I didn't carry my into the bargain on that. So, yeah, I guess we're into it today. Where are we looking, Stu? There's a couple games here that are decent, but are you looking for the dumpster fire? Or are you looking for a decent one?
You know what? I'm looking for a very decent one. Okay, I'm looking for a very, very decent one because I think the best game on today's slate is the Washington Nationals, baby. Had to put the hat on for that real quick. Listen, it's not a great slate. We got my guy Josiah Gray on the mound, obviously Flaherty on the other end, who walks 30,000 people a year. Washington's coming in with some momentum. The Cardinals have been kind of like the laughing stock over the last couple weeks. Maybe they're finally turning things around. I'm gonna pick the Nationals. I get to do that every once in a while. That's my game today.
Honestly, I think that might have been my second or third lowest on my slate. Maybe even lower. I mean, I'm not going to homer it, even though I think the Brewers game actually is because you have 2 aces on it, right? You have Merrill Kelly, who's throwing well, Corbin Burns in Milwaukee, getting to see Corbin Carroll in Milwaukee. Cool to see. I'm going to pick the Scherzer matchup with Hunter Brown. That's what I'm at. I mean, how do you not pick one of those, bro? Like, how do you pick Josiah Gray giving up nuke skis all day for this shit as his number 1? So, but I like that Houston game. I think it's gonna be a fun one. I really am excited to watch aces go at it, man. I mean, I don't know if you consider Hunter Brown an ace, but he's throwing like it. He's got the stuff like one. Obviously, Framber being there kind of ruins your chances, but Scherzer's had 2 shit outings in a row. So. Let's see if he bounced back. I think he does, and I'll talk about him in a little bit here as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you why I didn't pick those games pretty easily. Have the Mets ever been one of my play of the days or games ever picking? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever voluntarily told people to watch them play. So you got to axe that out immediately. And then your game, Brewers Diamondbacks. Yeah, the Diamondbacks are fun on offense. You have to admit, you guys suck the fun out of any possible game. Like, yeah, you do have some good pitchers duels every once in a while, but come on, you don't think the Brewers are a fun team? There's no fun at all in there. They strike out and hit home runs. That's it.
Hey, the game goes fast. Hey, that's good. I mean, Boston, Minnesota, better.
Minnesota also sucks.
Let's go. I'd go Rockies, Reds. At least it's a dumpster fire.
That's fair.
Better.
Fair. I'll take that.
I don't hate Drew Smiley either, but I don't like watching the Pirates. So I'll give you that. But then you get a dumpster fire in Kansas City, Detroit that could just be fun as fuck. So I'd rather watch all of those. And guess what? You're going to be watching that game for 8 hours because Jack Flaherty's going to walk 19 dudes. Josiah Gray's going to walk 19 dudes. Both bullpens blow dick. This is going to be terrible, dude. It's just like that game's going to take 7 hours. I'm going to be done with my game in 2.5 hours, and it's going to be like 5-4 with like 8 homers. Like, what else do you want? Like, that's like exactly what you want, and I don't have to sit there for 6 hours and have to deal with it. I think my Brewer game might get done before your Nationals game. They start 4 hours prior.
That's fair. I actually don't even have anything to say. That's fair. Our game's going to have, like 20 walks. So that's fair. But at the end,
you can bet that, man. I'd take it. Over 19.5 walks in that one game singularly.
Yeah, I'm curious. Maybe Prize Picks will give us a line. I know they like to do that weird shit right there. But yeah, no, that's fair. You're right. We can keep it moving. I don't need.
I will shout out Prize Picks here. I don't use it very often, but a guy in my chat messaged me privately. He's like, "Hey, do you like any of these?" Because he knows I watch college baseball. They were giving me Paul Skeens at 8.5 Ks, bro. That is freaking laughable, dude. That guy is gonna throw 150. He threw 126. And I'm like, dude, if you don't hit that, I'm going to download it again and hit it again. It was crazy. They gave it an 8.5, which was wild, man. The dude's literally going to break the NCAA record for a single season strikeouts. Like, unreal.
The videos of him are crazy because all the Nationals guys obviously are tweeting about him. He's like projected to go number 2 to us. And I mean, the pitch count, I know you're a college baseball guy. Are they supposed to throw 125 pitches every outing? Because that seems pretty crazy to me.
Well, I mean, when you're that good, like you're going into it like I'm going into I can't anymore, right? And I mean, it's your last time throwing with those guys. It's just, is he? I thought he was projected to the Tigers, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm not, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, especially the guy from Stanford too. Like that one was a little bit crazy, but he was shoving though. Like Skeens gave them a reason to take him out. Like if he didn't give him a reason, I think they would have rode him to the end. Yeah, he gave up those 2 hits in a row, and then he ended up kind of giving up a run, and then you saw what happened once they came out. He gave up the bullpen gave up like. Right, that's how good that dude is. I don't know if people understand how unreal having that changeup and breaking ball is at that level. Like that is a high end, probably a 1 or 2 on a major league staff right now. Like he I don't even think he needs minor league stuff. Like he's ready. He is literally ready to go right now. Obviously, big league hitters can adjust and stuff like that. But when you watch Skeens throw and then you I think about it as Hunter Green, right? Hunter Green's stuff is absolutely electric. He doesn't really throw a changeup though. First off, so lefties are hard to get out. Second, the dude has run. Hunter Green's is straight as shit, but he throws it 102, 103. Skeens is throwing it 100 with sink, right? That's what makes it almost impossible to hit, and that's what I think people need to realize. This dude is literally running the baseball. It's like Duran from the Twins, who everybody sees on Pitching Ninja every single week. It's like his as a starter, dude. It's just not fair. But shout out that game. That was unbelievable baseball to watch, and it was really cool to see a guy at that level, because you don't see those guys ever in the college level, because they're usually they sign up as high schoolers, right? They're gone, right? So really cool to watch that unfold in the College World Series. Really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really felt like just the classic, like a man against boys. You know what I mean? Like it felt like a guy that was just like an NBA player playing in the G League. You know what I mean? Like it was very dominant. So always interesting to see the future of the league. Maybe we'll be betting on him in the next couple of years. Who knows? Seems like it.
Oh, I bet you next year. I bet you he's in the league next year. Like whoever drafts him and doesn't, if he doesn't go up there, I would be baffled. Absolutely
Interesting.
baffled.
Well, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch. That'll be real fun.
All right, Stu. Let's get us started here. We got about 12 of you guys in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're gonna get going here. I'm gonna kick it over to you, and then I'm gonna go retweet your tweet quick.
Sounds good. We're starting out with James Paxton over 17.5 outs, minus 130. I was between this one and the strikeouts at 6.5, but obviously the strikeouts did continue to climb in juice to the point where, it's minus 150 now, a little bit harder to play. I think he does end up going over both of them. But obviously what we like additionally, when we look at these outs props, they are one of my favorite pitcher kind of markets to bet on, because you do have a couple kind of clear things you want to look at. Number one is the most clear. It's how long is this guy's leash, right? What's their pitch count looking like? And it's been good to see that the veterans made it over 100 pitches in 4 of his last 6 outings. I believe one of the misses was at 98. And then another one was just at an outing where he got shelled at 58 pitches, right? So he did have a bad game, but it's showing when he's out there, when he's healthy, their intention is clearly to let him go a decent amount of innings out there. Additionally, he is pitching on 6 days rest, which he's done 3 times so far this year. He's done very well in those outings, going over this number in 2 or 3 of those games, and then striking out 22 guys over those innings. So it's been good to see that he's got that additional rest. Finally, let's look at the conditions, right? It's a tired bullpen. They just had the doubleheader. Luckily, Bello did provide them a good outing in the late game, but they did have to use all of their long relievers in the early game to get them out of that mess. So they're going to be coming in with one of those real annoying Sunday night flights. They actually have to play Monday, unlike most teams that, end up playing those Sunday night games. They normally get the day off. They actually do have to play because that was a forced rain doubleheader. They have to fly in with the tired bullpen. And that normally means you got to rely a little bit more on your pitcher. So at the end of the day, when it came down to it, he's making it pretty much 6 innings in every single outing. Now they actually definitely need him to, right? The bullpen's real rested. They're in a bit of a rough spot. He's coming in with some extra rest. I definitely think in those split-second decisions, right? When do we take him out after walking a guy in the 5th inning? I think that's when you rely on your pitcher to go get you some outs in these kind of situations when your bullpen is tired. I like having that edge on our side. So I like the bet a lot right here. I think he goes over the strikeouts. I think he goes over the outs. But I think this is the best number available. So took Paxton over 17.5 outs today.
Yeah, swing and miss stuff always gets you out of jams, right? Obviously, having the ability, if it's first and second, 1 out, he's got the ability to strike out anybody on this roster. Love the matchup. I absolutely hate the Twins so much. So that's obviously something also to add on top of that. So I really like Paxton. I think he's been obviously fantastic since the injury. And hopefully he continues to stay healthy and keep firing, because obviously those are important. You just talked about that with a rested pen or not rested pen, and I'm going to do the same thing here with over outs on Williams. Right? I'm going to go right there. So obviously we saw an extra inning game yesterday. We saw a lot of tight games for the Reds and Astros in there as well. We didn't even get to see Alexis Diaz, the closer for the Reds yesterday, because he threw 2 straight days. Couldn't throw that 3rd straight day. So then they ended up throwing their guys that are usually the 7th and 8th inning guys in that 8th and 9th. And now the only guy that is rested is Diaz, because they had to throw all of their other guys yesterday against the Astros. So obviously very emotional game there. Won on a crazy 10th inning little run there. So I really, really like Williamson here. I love fading the hell out of the Rockies versus lefties. They used to be very good against lefties, but obviously when you have no CJ Cron, when you have no Chris Bryant, like those are the guys who crush lefties, right? You look at them now, man, this team is cheats, dude. Like their best hitter is obviously Nolan Jones, left side. Ryan McMahon, left side, right? Jurickson Profar, better hitter from the left side, right? Now you have to face off against Williamson here, who obviously, if you go through his metrics, they are not good, right? They're not good. But I mean, everybody's a little bit worse when you pitch in Great American for over half your games. The whiff on some of these pitches are actually pretty good. He's got a 26% on slider. He's got a 54% on the changeup there. Obviously, the 4-seam is getting hit around. But when you have a spot here You're out of Coors Field, which is nice because obviously that's usually what flattens out the breaking balls, what makes it easier to hit. So Williamson's slider should be good. Changeup should be good. Obviously, fastball definitely needs some work in terms of location. But if I have to worry about this Rockies team, I'm going to be all over Williamson here. We've seen him prior to that Dodgers start actually not do too bad. He had a 6 2/3 outing against the Brewers. Obviously, I tell you guys all the time they suck against lefties. Even in that Dodgers start where he got blown to shreds, dude, we baited the hell out of him. He still hit it, right? He still got 5 2/3, still hit 96 pitches, right? If I have to worry about the bullpen who's fully rested, yeah, maybe I probably won't take this play. But Williamson has shown the ability to go 90 pitches, has almost hit 100 against that Dodgers team. Against the Royals, he went 5 innings, but he had only 78 pitches. Obviously, they were winning in that game, wanting to trust that pen. But now they don't have that luxury. I think they're going to let him ride a little bit longer. And if I have to pick any team, any lefty versus this Rockies team, I'm going to side with that lefty. I do the same thing with the Brewers. The only one I didn't was Rich Hill because it's Rich Hill who throws 64 miles an hour. Brandon Williamson's got a little bit more gas in the tank there. So I'm going to go with Williamson. I think this is a fair price. And I think we're going to see him get through 6 today.
Yeah, I don't think Rich Hill is a fair comparison. I mean, the guy's a dinosaur. We love Rich Hill, but yeah, not quite your typical lefty. I agree. We talked about Williamson when I faded him for the no win, last time in that Dodgers one, and you kind of mentioned the same thing, that he was actually finally stretching out a little bit. They were letting him throw a little bit deeper into these games, and like you said, now you have that perfect added detail of a tired bullpen. You want to trust your starter to get those couple extra outs. So I had no clue we were on the same market right here, but I definitely do like this play a lot. And I like the Reds in general today. I know that's not just me. I know it's pretty popular to like the Reds today, but I would even consider maybe Williamson to grab a win or something like that as well, if you can get that at some nice odds.
Yeah, he's actually worse odds than Gomber, right? That's very surprising to me. And I don't understand that one. I think it's like plus 200 for Gomber, plus like 250 for Williamson.
Wow. That's weird.
But also bullpen advantage definitely goes Reds. That might be a spot I actually like to go at. That's a good look. And obviously this Rockies pen sucks. So a no win on Gomber is not something that I would hate to go to either. So good look, Stu. I like that one a lot. And we'll head over to the Reds game again for your second pick here of the show.
Yep, we're going to Matt McLain over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs minus 130 or minus 135 for half a unit. This one is obviously over on DraftKings. I've been playing this market a lot recently, and McLain has been one of my number one targets. If you've been following me on Twitter, you've probably seen that. And I like it because this isn't just an individual bet. This is almost more of a team bet, right? You're not just betting on McLain. I think he's going to have a good game, so that's obviously why I'm picking him. But you also expect the guys around him to kind of produce, right? This is kind of a team bet. You want those RBIs, you want those run positions. And while he's normally in the 2-hole, so the RBI opportunities aren't that great, the good news is he is normally batting behind a guy that's hitting over 300, right? When it's against a lefty, they'll put Newman in there, who's hitting like 340 against lefties so far this year. And then when it's a righty, they'll have Friedel up there, who's hitting over 300 against. So it's, at least you do have a solid base runner in front of him. But we obviously do love having India, Dela Cruz, Steven Stevenson, who's finally hit a home run and looked like he's got a little bit of that power back. It's a good lineup that you have behind you. And I mean, it feels redundant at this point, but we're going back to fading Gomber. I mean, this is truly, I believe, one of the worst starting pitchers we have in the league that's consistently getting out there. I understand he's coming off a better outing last time, but even when you look at the underlying numbers, the hard hit is still there. The guy gets crushed every time he goes out there. Lefties, righties, it really doesn't matter. The only thing, I wish there was a more dependable lefty I could go to on this team because he's getting crushed even more by lefties, but I really don't see a clear target right there. So I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity. I think there's going to be plenty of runs scored. I was very surprised. I bet this at minus 135 a couple days ago in a game with a 7.5 total. And now we have a 10 total. So the books are clearly expecting more runs. We're clearly expecting more offense. I think this number probably should have adjusted. I don't think it has. Hopefully it's another one of those one at bats, where we get a nice single and he gets scored in that same inning. But obviously tons of different ways to win this bets when you have the hits, runs, RBIs. I think the Reds have a good offensive day, and I definitely think McLain, who's hitting 282, I haven't even gone over the numbers because I feel like I do that every single day. He's hitting 282 against left-handed pitching this year. Let's keep it going. Let's cash this ticket.
Yeah, no, this is I love McLain. Obviously, I tell you every single time I have him in fantasy, he's been fantastic for me. And yeah, I definitely like this spot total is very nice for this as well. And I'm going back to the well, guys. I know you probably don't want to see this one again, but I'm going to go there. I don't care. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to be going back to Scherzer, under 2.5 earned runs. He's in Houston today. I like the ace matchup, or at least good pitcher on the other side in Hunter Brown. I think that definitely brings out a competitive nature in Scherzer, helps him out a little bit there. But also, I kind of like fading this lineup right now, right? Yesterday, I was all over them, right? I loved them yesterday facing off against Luke Weaver, right? Because Luke Weaver just sucks and can't get out any right-handed batters at all, right? He's got really bad reverse splits. But let's take a look here at this lineup, right? You have Mauricio Dubon or Altuve at the top, right? But then you got Bregman, Tucker, Abreu. Yes, I'm loving him right now. He's been doing well. But then we have Chas McCormick, 250. Jeremy Pena, 240. Jolks, 240. Even though I love Jolks, I love playing him DFS because he's cheap as shit. He's still batting 240. Had bases loaded, 1 out yesterday, still blew the lead, right? You have possibly Jake Myers in there who's batting 230, right? I mean, there's a lot of free outs at the bottom of this order, in my opinion. I think that Scherzer obviously has regression positively coming here in terms of the swings and misses. His whiff rate is great. It's still definitely where it should be, right? The only thing is probably his slider took a step back from last year, where last year his slider was 46%. Now it's down to 30. But he does use four-seam fastball at 30% whiff rate. We got slider at 30%. We have cutter at 35%. We have curveball at 28%. It's just the putaways, man. It's the putaways. The 0-2 hits. I watched this last game. 0-2 hit, gave up a homer. I lost this bet, right? It's just being able to execute, being able to get these guys to swing and miss. Obviously, Kyle Tucker is fucking awesome. I love that guy. He's still playing extremely, extremely well. But there's no Yordan Alvarez, right? That's such a huge piece, right? That's such a huge piece to this team. Obviously, the Subway Series, I think everybody in that Subway Series hit a home run on both sides. So I'm not even looking at that one. Obviously, the one before that was the Braves, where he was mowing until he ran out of gas in that 6th inning and lost this bet, right? So I'm not looking at those two, right? Those two, obviously, he missed this one. We saw him against the Phillies, 7 innings, 9 Ks. Rockies in Colorado, 7 innings, 8 Ks, 1 run. Cleveland, 6 innings, no runs. Washington, 5 innings, no runs, right? So there's been a very stable amount of innings that he's had where he's been able to get this and being able to be his dominant self, like we've seen there for that month or month and a half prior to those last 2 starts. I think this is a little bit more of a step down, especially without Yordan in this lineup. Obviously, I love the Astros. I like betting on the Astros. But in this matchup, I think I'm going to ride with Scherzer here. Even if you look at like I know I'm not a huge pitcher versus batter guy for career, but Abreu is the only guy with over a 200 batting average against him, and that's 6 for 20 with 5 Ks. So it's not like he was doing anything. Only 1 extra base hit, 1 RBI, right? It's not anything of damage. Altuve, 4 for 20, right? 4 Ks. Nothing, no extra base hits, right? You go to Bregman, 0 for 5, 5 K or 3 Ks. Maldonado, 1 hit and 7 at bats, 5 Ks, right? Like this is what we want to see. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that Yanier Diaz sits after catching the last 2 games. We get to see Maldonado, because that is such a huge downgrade, because Diaz is a beast. I love that guy. Very, very fun guy to play in DFS. That dude, it's like multiple hits almost every single time I play him, dude. He's so good. So Scherzer under 2.5 earned runs. I know the matchup looks bad, but I like the spot a lot for Scherzer to come through and get through these guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously Scherzer is one of those guys that, the inconsistency's been there, but I like how you went through all the, the whiffs, the underlying stuff is still there. It's just getting out of those kind of tough situations.
Big jams.
Yeah.
Get out of them.
For me, I mean, as a Nationals fan, I have to say the only thing is I wish this is one of those things where you could like live bet this after the first inning. Just as someone that's watched so much Max Scherzer, it's always just that first inning, that bomb or that walk or something like that, and he just has those little mini jams. If he's, if he comes out with a 14-pitch first inning, I think you can feel very, very good about this. For me, it's always about kind of just surviving that. So I think obviously if he can run through that, then really no problems whatsoever. And also just about the price is I know you know this, but like this isn't the price you get for good pitchers for earned runs, right? When you look at it, this is the price you get for like the bad pitchers, like my Nationals, like Jake Irvin was 2.5 minus. You know what I mean? Like that, you're getting a really good price because I think people are maybe a little bit more scared of Max Scherzer than they should be right now.
Let's put this in perspective. We just talked how much shit on Austin Gomber. He's at minus 140 for this line.
Yep.
Right?
Perfect.
Like for the same thing.
Yep.
So I'm getting 20 cents off on a dude who's a Hall of Famer, bro. Like it's wild to me. We've definitely seen him. I think that it's kind of funny because obviously recency bias. The last 2 games he got absolutely shelled. ERA looks terrible, right? But we're getting this price for a guy whose expected ERA is almost a full run lower than his actual ERA. Almost a full run. 3.62 expected, 4.45 actual, right? That means regression. It's coming our way. Hopefully Scherzer is still able to do this. And I think that they're going to be a little bit more cautious sending him out for that 7th inning because he's gotten blown up in that 7th inning already this year. Let me get through the 6th. You're at 89 pitches. Hey, call it. Go sit your ass down. I know you're a crazy dude, and I don't want to fight you. And Mike Scherzer probably wants to fight you. But set his ass on the bench, get you that win, give up 1 run on a bomb that's probably 500 feet because you like to leave the ball up in the zone sometimes to Kyle Tucker, get him that MVP look. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen, but it's all right. But yeah, definitely a spot I really like, and I don't understand this price. It's just a recency bias. Imagine if he shoved those last 2 games, bro. This is probably 1.5 same price.
Yeah, no, I literally think the Austin Gomber like comparison's perfect. Like, what else are you gonna say after that? The pricing is insane, but as someone that sat here, like, I feel like that's kind of your thing over these last 2 years, where people are watching or not, like catching up before the public does. You know what I mean? Like, baseball is a long fucking season. Guys are gonna suck over stretches. The goal for us, hopefully, is to kind of rebound over those before everyone else does. So I think today's a great opportunity. And even I was a little bit questionable about this one in the beginning, but I'm definitely going to be telling you I'm feeling good about Max tonight. Let's go.
Mark my words. Scherzer goes 1, or if he gives up 1 earned or no earned here, we're going to look at his next start, and he's going to be at like 1.5 plus 120, or it could be 2.5 minus 160. So it's going to happen if it's there. If it's not, hey, if Scherzer's going to not hit this, give up 10 runs and let me get that 2.5 at plus money, bro. So if you're going to do it, Scherzer, go do it. Make me my money. If you're going to lose it, give up 10 and let's get that price a little lower next time. So hopefully he listens to the show and follows along with us there. All right. Terrence bringing up if you have anybody that has MGM over 17.5 at minus 120. Yeah, as a Mets fan, been brutal watch. Hey, well, hopefully they just give them like 2 minutes while they're hitting, so they get Scherzer just to let him go get a quick drink. At least gets that in there. Let him sit down a little bit, and then he can go back out. Just give me a little bit, right? Give me a little bit of time in between those innings. Jason in the chat. We got Terrence in here. Appreciate you guys for popping in and showing some love in here. If you guys have questions, ask away quickly. We will get to our recap here and then some long shots. I'll kick it over to you, Stu.
Sounds good. I went Paxton over 17.5 outs. Obviously, minus 130 on DK, minus 120, even better over on BetMGM. Then we went Matt McClain over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs, minus 130 for half unit over on DK. Also did want to say, with all the rain and stuff, that's why I played it for half unit. But if we're conditions are good and everything's fine and the lineup is good, I'll make this a full unit play before game time as well. Just a little precautionary.
Sounds good. I'll be rolling Mr. Mad Max Scherzer under 2.5 earned runs at minus 120. DraftKings Williamson over 15.5 outs recorded at minus 120. Play that up to minus 130. I actually really like that spot. I think that could definitely go up. Stu, you got a long shot for me today. I know we didn't do one on the last show, so we got that itch to get to today.
Yeah, so I stole one of your parlays right here. So I've got some good odds. I've got what's his name? I've got James Paxton 8 strikeouts, and I've got
we have the same leg, so that's kind of funny.
Okay, and then I got Nolan Arenado to hit a home run. Is my other one at 11-1 over on FanDuel right now. So it might be better on 365 if you have it, but I did go all out. Righty power, obviously, versus my guy Josiah Gray is the way to go. There's a ton of different options. You can go multiple different ways. I like Arenado's home run splits against off-speed pitches so far this year. We know Josiah Gray leads heavy on those. I talked about Paxton earlier, but the Twins are K'ing at a 27% rate against lefties this year. He's been very good. It seems like you like that too. So I went with a little parlay right here that had some pretty nice odds.
Give me a second. Yours beat me by like 100, so I got to make it a little higher. Where are you? This might be the first time I've not. All right, I'm doing James Paxton 9Ks just so I can be higher. Gotta get to it quick. This is just ruining this for me here because I literally had 8Ks in there and I'm like, fuck yeah, we're gonna be pretty high today. But let's do. Yeah, we're going 9Ks here. All right, now I gotta adjust it on my right up here. 9. Oh, that's yours. Keep yours up there. This sucks, dude. I literally had I felt like I had a perfect one there. And then I'm doing an alternate line again, but I'm not doing what I used to do. I used to do it for the total. Now I'm doing it for a spread. So now I'm going 15 to 1, bro. I'm doing a 15 to 1 long shot. Hey, I've been close on these fuckers. I need to get one of these. Paxton 9Ks, Reds first 5 minus 3.5, plus 1,500. I know Reds they're kind of hot right now, right? Everybody's talking about them. They're getting a lot of love. You're heading back to Great American. If it's going to be rainy there and going to be a little humid, that ball is going to be wild, bro. It is hot as hell here right now. It's like 77 degrees. Can't even imagine what it is like 6 or 7 hours south of us. So I definitely like this spot. I like fading Gomber here. And I also really like Williamson. So this is a very nice spot to go. But also Paxton, 9 strikeouts. I've been rolling with Paxton. He hit for me last time. I think he does here. Again, it's almost like I don't like having the Ks and tailing your outs because it's like, well, if he goes to deep counts just to K, I'm like cheering for him to K everybody. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to be cheering for him to just, hey, I don't even care if you throw me fucking 30 pitches in a, just get me strikeouts. That's all I want. That's why I had Freddie Peralta last night, and that's what he did to me too. He had 2 30-pitch innings, but he got like 5 Ks in those innings. So I was happy because I had strikeouts, but it just absolutely fucked his outs. So, but Paxton 9 Ks. I love Williamson today, which is scary as hell to say. But also I like this Reds offense against Gomber. So I'm really, really excited for this one, dude. I like this one. 15 to 1, man.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, that Reds 3.5 line feels real generous, like, to me. Like, it's a 4-1 or 4-0 lead against Austin Gomber is not a crazy thing at all. You know, like, when we talk about long shots, we are normally talking about things that are unlikely to happen. But I don't know if the Reds having a 4-run lead is, in my opinion, very unlikely to happen whatsoever. Obviously, like you said, you got to worry about Williamson kind of doing his job and keeping the Rockies offense down. But once again, go take a look at the Rockies lineup, guys, and tell us how many people you recognize in there that you're a real big fan of and report back. So definitely like this spot a lot. Obviously, we're both on Paxton today, which is good to see. I know what you mean, but I did actually see a pretty good stat. I believe he's 3rd in the league at getting to 0-2 counts. He is the 3rd most 0-2 counts, like per game in the league so far this year. So he is actually throwing a lot of strikes, being aggressive and getting guys to K on those kind of third pitches. So just a little random stat I did read to throw in and counter that a little. That's why I do think the outs and Ks can work together a little bit, because hopefully if he's going 6 innings, he's striking out 8 dudes.
Yeah, hopefully I am. I'm all in on that. I like that. All right, Dimitri's got a question here. I think this is the only other question. Let's get to Terrence here. Dropping 63 to 1 on those long shots there. Love to see that. Do you have a thought on Blue Jays, Stu, or am I? You want me to take that one?
I mean, Barrios is your guy. I feel like you're the Barrios expert at this point. I don't have a strong take on that game. I don't really like getting in the way of the Blue Jays offense in general, but also like Vlad right now. I don't know. I don't really have I would say maybe first glance would be like maybe a first 5 over if you think the Barrios fading continues, but maybe the Marlins are only good versus Washington. That might be true as well.
I kind of like going away from the Marlins a little bit today, just because I know every single person was on them yesterday against Corbin. So I don't mind that. They were really highly bet yesterday there. I know Barrios home road splits are always usually pretty distinct. He's usually way better at home, so don't mind that. He's got like a 2.3 ERA at home, 3.7 or so on the road. So don't hate the fade of Barrios, but I mean, I don't know if I want to bet the run line. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I want to bet them to be up a run, but I don't know if Honing is going to be like an opener or not. Because I'd rather him be a long guy and then get a second look at him. So I'm kind of up in the air. Berrios is. I've been pretty good at picking Berrios, but I don't pick him very much, right? So it's like I know my limits on taking him. So I don't hate that if you want to go there, but I will probably be staying off personally.
Very fair. Yeah, that's like I said, that game really did not stick out whatsoever today. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, and it's like that weird time anyway too, where I won't have it on the slate that I'm looking at. So because I'm gonna look at the main slate stuff a little bit more, just because I'm gonna probably be playing it. But yeah, so Stu, we got all 6 plays out. What do you got for the people here?
Yeah, I mean, nothing much. Obviously, make sure to drop any questions that you have whatsoever. Time's getting a little less busy for me with it's 50-50. NBA draft is coming, I guess, is the point I'm trying to get to. So I will have some NBA draft articles coming over the next couple of days. I think it's definitely one of the most profitable markets you can bet whatsoever. I will give a quick shout out too. I was in my Discord, I posted already. I bet Jarris Walker to be drafted before Asur Thompson. So if you want to get that in, that's a nice little draft prop, -110 over on DK. But I'll have a bunch more stuff like that, more MLB props throughout the day. But yeah, nothing too crazy to plug. Just make sure to like the video, tune in. Hopefully you're cashing plays with us. Let's keep it moving on Wednesday.
Yeah, you'll have to shoot me a message if you have any second day plays for NBA draft, because I'll be on a flight Thursday nights.
Okay.
So won't be able to do any of those, which sucks. And I'm like, dude, let's get there. If we get there Thursday, I could bet some golf.
Yeah.
Thursday, I could bet some draft, but I'm saying they're through a little bit into Monday too as well. So it's like, it's the same amount. So yeah, you'll have to send me any if you have any for the second day there. Not too bad. -108 on the first 5 spread for Toronto there. Not bad price. Not a bad price. I just don't think I can bet on, Berrios and them being up a run there. First day of the series, you're down in Miami. It's so much bigger than Rogers Center, man. It's a lot of those homers out of Rogers Center ain't getting out there. So just a heads up. So yeah. I should hopefully have an article coming out later in the afternoon around like 3:00 my time for another play for that. And then, yeah, obviously doing some golf. I had a nice little golf week this week. I ended up doing pretty well. 6-man made the cut. Unfortunately, Xander and DJ just absolutely shit their pants on Sunday to lose me a decent chunk of change. I had a pretty good other lineup there. Shout out Russell Henley for being the man. Thoughts on Lyle's 2 walks? I know this is one that I don't mind. What is the price? This has to be like -200, right?
It's been in the -160s a lot recently. The only, or in 80s and like you said, 200. The only thing I can think of is maybe it's just that lineup they're going against, right? It's so like not intimidating that they brought the price down. But I'd agree with you. Lyle's 2 walks has been very consistent all year long. So yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about that whatsoever.
Hey, if you want a 2-walk parlay, just take the entire game of the St. Louis Cardinals Washington game. My God, both those guys. Let's alternate parlay 6 walks each, plus like $2 million. We'll get that, and we'll be rich and not have to do it anymore, right? Just make a shitload off of both these guys walking 6 dudes, because this is one of the only games you probably can see that actually.
Yeah, just before we get off, I mean, you might have been right. That might actually be the most boring game of the day now that I think of it, because they're both going to be sitting in the dugout just waiting, right, as the other pitcher walks a bunch of guys. So they're going to come out a little – that might be bad. I might have given out a bad pick today. It might be my first rough one. So we'll see. Maybe it'll turn out to be the best game of the slate, and I can, come flex on you later. But we'll see.
Well, good luck. Hopefully that happens, but very unlikely. But, hey, it's all right. All right, guys, we will see you on Wednesday. We'll let you know the time over on Twitter. Make sure you follow us both for that. And we will be back Wednesday to make some more money with you guys. So hopefully we can win a couple for you. Cash one of those 15-1 long shots, 11-1 long shots, and get you guys some more money in your pocket. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck tonight, and we will see you Wednesday.